Shot clock at 8. Aldridge pushing off on Pachulia.
Pause. What we are about to witness will change the course of NBA history forever. This play will affect many people, cities, and even a whole country. The year is 2017, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. The top 2 seeds, San Antonio Spurs versus the Kevin Durant Golden State Warriors. Take note of the score, 76-55 midway through the third quarter at Oracle Arena. The Spurs are on track to steal a crucial Game 1 in Oakland. Let's roll the tape.
Leonard fires from the corner. And Leonard goes down again.
Oftentimes we hear about NBA plays that change history, such as Ray Allen's famous shot, MJ versus the Jazz, and Kyrie's game-winning shot against the Golden State Warriors. But many people at the time did not know that this bad closeout by Zaza Pachulia would have such a large ripple effect in the NBA. But first, let's rewind the tape and paint the picture of the 2016-2017 NBA season. The 2016-2017 NBA season featured Russell Westbrook at his peak, winning MVP and averaging a triple-double, joining Oscar Robertson as the only players in NBA history to average a triple-double in an NBA season. This was also KD's first year on the Warriors, and Dwayne Wade was on the Bulls alongside Jimmy Butler and Rajon Rondo. Taking a look at the standings, the only teams in the same stratosphere that could compete with the Golden State Warriors that year were the San Antonio Spurs in the Western Conference, and out of the East were the defending champion Cleveland Cavaliers. It was a foregone conclusion that the Golden State Warriors, with the addition of Kevin Durant, were the locks to win the championship, but those two teams were able to compete with them throughout the year. Now, back to Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Kawhi would lead the game midway through the third quarter, and the Spurs would see their 21-point lead diminish as the Warriors came back and took Game 1. After the game, Pop would say he was not sure of the status of Kawhi's injury. It is important to note that Kawhi had ankle issues in the past that same season. That same ankle kept Kawhi out of Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals versus Houston as well. The Spurs ended up beating Houston in that Game 6 without Kawhi Leonard and moved on to the conference finals. The Spurs, without one of the best players in the NBA, would go on to get swept 4-0 in the series. Golden State would then make light work of the Cavaliers in a rematch from the previous 2 years' finals and win the 2017 NBA Finals, their second championship in 3 years. The 2017-2018 NBA season brought us more of the same from the previous year. The Cavs and Warriors were destined to meet each other in the NBA Finals that year for the 4th straight time. Houston was on the rise with CP3 being brought into H-Town to pair with James Harden. And Toronto was taking what seemed like one final swing at trying to beat LeBron for the first time in the playoffs. As for the Spurs, who were one injury away from having a serious shot at making the finals, they fell to 47-35 that year as Kawhi only played 9 games. When Kawhi returned from his ankle injury, he said that he had a soreness in his right quad, and he was shut down indefinitely after only 9 games. There was also a report by ESPN that said that there was a rift between the Spurs and Kawhi. Kawhi sat out the remainder of the season with the Spurs. I can go into the whole saga of Kawhi and the Spurs and the downfall, but that deserves an entire video by itself. The 2018 playoffs were more the same as the previous year, as we saw Golden State beat Cleveland to become repeat champs. The 2018 offseason was very interesting. We saw the Spurs trade Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green to the Toronto Raptors for DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl, and a future first-round pick. Although that was not the story of the offseason. LeBron James was a free agent that year, and everyone in the NBA was wondering where the King would end up. There were 8 teams reported by ESPN that were in contention that offseason to land LeBron. Those teams were the Cavs, Warriors, Rockets, Clippers, Lakers, Heat, Sixers, and Spurs. As we all know now, LeBron chose the Los Angeles Lakers as his free agent destination to join with rookies Alonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma and pair alongside the rising talent Brandon Ingram. As the 2018-2019 NBA season went, in the Western Conference, we saw more domination from Golden State, who would make their 5th straight finals in a row, even though they were banged up a little throughout the playoffs. On the side of the Eastern Conference, we saw the Toronto Raptors, led by none other than Kawhi Leonard, make the NBA Finals after beating the 76ers and the Milwaukee Bucks. In a tight series that went back and forth, we saw Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson go down with season-ending injuries. Toronto would go on to win the series in 6 games, and Toronto would win their first NBA championship in franchise history, becoming the first team outside of the US to win the NBA Finals. This set the entire country of Canada on fire, and we saw some of the biggest celebrations of all time, and the Six finally brought home a ring for the whole country.
Have you seen him?
I haven't seen him yet. I think he's somewhere in Oakland right now, celebrating his butt off.
Well, when you see him, tell him I got a housewarming gift. Tell him I love him.
I will. What kind of plant is that?
Tell him thank you for the shot.
What kind of plant is that?
It's a plant for Kawhi. It's a Kawhi plant.
It's a Kawhi plant.
It's a Kawhi cactus.
Have a good night, man.
In the present day, Kawhi is on the Clippers, KD is on the Nets, Klay has missed 2 years of playing, and the Raptors and Spurs are both in shambles. Which brings me all the way back to the point of this whole video. What if Zaza Pachulia didn't stick his foot out and injure Kawhi Leonard on that closeout play all the way back in 2017? It is a strong possibility that we would have a totally different landscape in today's league. We could have seen the Spurs as champions in 2017, and although they may not have won the chip in 2018, they would have been a huge free agent destination because they had a young star in DeJounte Murray and a lot of cap space to pair alongside Kawhi Leonard. LeBron may very well have chosen to play in San Antonio with Kawhi. We also most likely would not have seen Klay or Kevin Durant get hurt as well in the 2019 finals because Kawhi would not have been on the Raptors and Golden State may not have even been in the finals. This one play caused a massive butterfly effect in NBA history, and although we may not know what could have been if Kawhi never got hurt, we can all agree with certainty that the NBA would be something out of a 2K franchise mode and look totally different from how it is today. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I'm so happy to be back and making basketball videos again. Please consider subscribing. It's free and you could always unsubscribe if you'd like. This has been Luka. Have a good day and peace.